small, simple example of how you can put together the various licks I have shown you in my last series of lessons to form a coherent solo or series of fills that stays in one relative position on the fretboard. Now, this builds on those recent lessons, so if you haven't seen them yet, I highly recommend you check them out. Basically what I do in these 3 lessons is I show you a series of riffs that can be played over the various movable chord shapes all over the neck. So the first one, which I'll link here, and then you can watch the 3 by linking at the end of each, covers the A shape. The second one covers the D shape. And the third one covers what I call the F shape and what some people quibble should be called the E shape, but it is the same shape. And again, when you're playing it up the neck, you're fingering it this way, which is why it's easier, I believe, to call it the F shape. Again, this is based on the CAGED method, C-A-G-E-D, which is another excellent place to start when you're trying to learn the fretboard. Now, what I did in that series of lessons is each one I stuck with one shape. So if I was playing a 1-4-5 in the key of A, which is what we're doing today, we've got an A chord, we've got a D chord, we've got an E chord. So when I showed you the A shape, I played the A riffs here, I played the D riffs here, I played the E riffs here. When I showed you the F shape, I played the A riffs here, the D riffs here, and the E riffs here, or of course here. And then over the D shape, the A would be here, the D would be either here or here, and the E would be either here or here. But that's not the way you play, right? When you play, you don't want to be jumping back and forth over the fretboard, unless you're just trying to be flashy or something, right? Typically, you want to be more economical. So what I really want you to take away from this lesson is that no matter where you are on the fretboard, no matter what the chord progression is, it doesn't have to be a 1-4-5, it can be something infinitely more complicated, you're going to be able to find all your chords in that same neighborhood on the fretboard. And the way you can do that is by knowing these various shapes and the associated scales and riffs that go with those shapes. It's all going to make sense. It's all going to connect. All right, so let's start here, which is where most people would start if they're looking at an A chord and they're going to solo, right? Because it's dead center in the middle of the fretboard. You're most comfortable typically in this first position, A major or minor pentatonic. Most of the riffs we're looking at are major. So, you know, this is a first and fourth string root chord. Again, the F shape of the A. So we have those. We got those scale type riffs. We've got the Hendrixy licks. The scale licks can also be down there. We've got Chuck Berry. We've got the sliding sixth type licks. We've got that sort of stuff. Whole range of licks that I showed you in the F shape lesson. So so you play some of those over the A, over the 1. Then the chord progression shifts to the 4, the D chord, right? You wouldn't go, oh, I'm going to now go up here. Why would you do that? You already have a D chord right there. You don't have to move. So this is a third string root chord. We're looking at the A shape of a D chord, right? The A shape is here. has the root on the 3rd string. So if it's up here at the 7th fret, it's a D chord. So then you have all those A shape riffs built in there. Okay, then I came back to the 1. Don't need to go anywhere else. I've got my A right there in the F shape. And then we're coming to the 5, we're coming to the E. Where is there an E chord here? Well, it's right there, right? 2nd string root, it's the D shape. So now we have all the D shape riffs. So that's if you found yourself here, somewhere in the middle of the fretboard when you were launching your solo. Let's say you were up higher, or you just wanted a higher tone, higher pitch for your solo. Let's say you were starting up here at the D shape of the A chord, here at the 9th and 10th frets, right? Again, your 2nd string root. So again, you have your D shape. You have all your D shape riffs there. And then you're going to the 4 chord. You've got a D chord coming up, the 4 chord. Well, look at here. You're right there. Got all your F shape riffs of the D chord right there. And we played the 4 here. Came back to the 1, we stayed there. Well, then our 5 chord is also right there in the A shape. So we could go and then land back on those D shape of the A chord riffs. So again, 1, 4, 5, just like we had 1, 4, 5 down here. So let's say you were starting your solo in the open position, your A chord's there, your 1, A shape of the A chord, your 4, boom, it's right there, D shape of the D, and then of course your 5 would be the E shape of the E or the E shape of the F, however you want to talk about it. If you were up here, same thing. A, D, E. So to recap, if you're in the middle of the fretboard, you've got A, D, E. If you're up here, you've got A, D, E. Down here you have A, D, E. If you're up here you have A, D, E. I hope that makes sense for you today. Watch those other lessons. They will fill in any blanks that you may have gotten if you just watch this one first. And as always, thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.